what your business is. So if you could maybe give us your 30-second infomercial.
Yes, indeed. Well, my business is helping people to get out there, but with facts and figures not, but with their own authenticity. Just being who they are, because I believe that someone who knows well what they can do for other people, and if they can tell, they don't need to sell. So it's telling it like it is, and people get connected to them, and then the right people get actually in their business. They do business with the right people because they are already very aligned with themselves. And I help them with words. I want the words to work for them. Some people can't explain everything, so I help them with the words, the correct words to attract the correct business people. Most of the time it's business people.
And what makes you an authority in that space?
Let's say that I have already a lot of knowledge around research and also around writing. I've been writing all my life, and I've been doing it for the last 20 years because I'm nearly 45. For the last 20 years, I've been writing, copywriting. We've also, let's say, putting everything into perspective. People say that my tools are that I can simplify a very complicated idea or very complicated text. And simplifying is key, because now we are in a digital era. People don't have time to read too much. So those who love to read, they read books. So I help with the books, but it needs to be to the point. And I get people back into the simplicity of the message. That's, I think, my authority.
Yeah, whether we're in this state of the world or not, I think that maybe it's compounded it. But the challenge I'm hearing, and even in my own life, is there's so much stuff to consume, so much intel, IP, content, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. So simplifying that process to get people engaged in your abilities, your offerings. I'm thinking of your clients, right? Mm-hmm. It would be an important aspect of it. Who would be an ideal target audience for you, like a client?
Business people who really want to get the identity out, but then in wordings that are as if they were talking to people. I always do some research on how they communicate verbally and put it into writing as if it were their writing. But what I've seen and noticed is that a lot of people cannot write anymore as they could before. So the writing skills are not that well as before because they don't focus on the content all the time. For those who have the skills, they get very elaborative in their writing. So they go into details because they think that the client needs to know all this. But then you are overwhelming the client. So you need to have to calibrate. I calibrate the message. If there is too much, we get it into lessened words. And if it's not enough, please get more clearance or more clarity into your message. I think that's a very important fact. And both are important. So the very eager writing business skilled person can benefit more simplified messages. And then the one who doesn't like to write or doesn't want to write can tell me, and then I can put it into a writing version of it.
Awesome. Now, we didn't rehearse any of this. This is just free flowing. So I'm going to ask you a question that might put you on the spot. Without saying who the client is, if you don't want to, do you have an example where you were engaged with somebody, they were maybe, well, what's your favorite success story from turning somebody into a hero from a zero, so to speak?
Yes. One person was someone in cosmetics. She had a super product for people with African styled hair. So a lot of curls there that needed to be tempered. And to tell that to a public that is diverse, that needs to know it quickly. her target audience were women without any time, so they're not going to read too much, and then explain the product, her biography in a small piece of paper, like I think it was not even 400 words. After one interview, I could do that, and she was amazed, and it helped her, and she could level up and have a good, a good bio on LinkedIn and on any speaking occasions, and that helped her to have new distributors too. So she had also other partners that could distribute her product, not only the customer, but the other engaging business people. So she was quite impressed with the content. There was a personal story to it, but she was not not ready to say that. So I left that out, and I told her, if you're not ready, do not do that. It was, of course, a challenge for me because her personal story behind the brand was so powerful. So I had to make something out of it without the real behind the scenes story. But I did, and she was very fond of it. And now the nice thing about it, and I just finalized it, she has a book chapter, and she went now for more than 3,000 words, and I wrote it with her. And now she was okay with telling the behind the scenes story.
So that's in the chapter then?
Yes, that's in the book chapter.
I can see in your eyes that that message needed to be heard.
Yes,
your
indeed.
face is expressing that to me. That's beautiful.
Indeed. And the nice thing is, and I think I'm not only writing, I'm coaching my clients.
Okay, cool.
At least 10 months in between the first few 300, 400 words and now the 3,000. And the courage to tell the story. So I think it's a life's journey, a business life journey that I go along with them.
So some of our audience that we share content with are logical, analytical thinkers. Did you get any feedback from her what the increased or the impact was from a ROI, return on investment point of view? Do you know if she doubled, quadrupled, 10% because of what you?
Well, she did not give me any figures, but I know that she's doing super well because now she has a team. So before she was alone with her sister, and now she has a web designer, at least 4 people working for her, and she has 2 extra distributors, and she is stable in a recession period, and she's not worried about her product because it's a beauty and wellness product that sells well. Not only in Belgium, also across the world. So she's from African descent, and she has also contacts in Africa. So I think it's 2 level. I didn't ask any business figures, but I see at 2 places she increased her confidence with having that written down, and she increased, of course, partnerships because she was able to show more than just a business card. But I should ask for her increases in figures.
Why do you think you should?
Well, it's nice for my portfolio to tell people that she benefited my services. Yes, it's something that I do not do often. I think because it's not shame, but I think in Belgium we don't speak about figures that much, only really the analytical people. But as a business owner specialized in words, I do not. What I love to do is when I do mail campaigns, I can see the A/B testing, I can check behind the scenes of the mailings, and then I can say, oh, there was conversion and my client could sell online course that many times, and then I have figures. But for a product as her own, it's not easy to evaluate, to make the link.
Yeah, and I asked the question I already knew the answer to, because in my business, one of the things that I work with my clients to do is to get the evidentiary pieces, whether it's written, a video, whether it's a white paper, case study. I actually use an acronym called DEFEATS, which stands for demo, example, testimonial, exhibit, if I could, analogy. testimonial, and then a statistic. So if we have it as a resource available to us, it's not you and I as the coach, sales representative, business owner saying it. It's the feedback, factual feedback from our clients, right?
That's true. That's true. Well, one other success story is that I helped a lady finalize her book. That was an 8-week job, and she was on Amazon. Okay, she did it for free at first, but she was it was health related, the topic, and she was second of the bestsellers within 24 hours.
Wow.
So she spread her book for nearly 200 items within 24 hours. So that was kind of a very good thing, because there the writing, it was a lot of brainstorming and marketing ideas that I gave her too, and quotes. But again, I think that's work in progress for me, because it's difficult for a creative to ask for figures and to make the correlation between what I've written and what the reaction on it was.
Yeah, no, I understand that. There's a lot of people that are, it's awkward, uncomfortable to do that. But you're doing yourself a disservice, because if you can help, like there's 2 great examples, and if you can help more people like that do it sooner, quicker, faster, then your value and your ability to serve more people will happen faster, and your clients will have you have more clients you can have an impact with sooner than later.
That's true for sure. One of my clients had like a nickname for me. He told me I was a word warrior, and I found that very nice to hear. Like when you express yourself and you can put it into words, in written words or in a speech, and you attract people, then you are a word warrior. You get it all said in a few words. So,
yeah, I wrote that down. That's awesome.
Yes. I found that very combative, but at the same time, with the name as my own, Victoria, it maybe matches the warrior type, although I'm very gentle as a person.
I think if you, I'm not a martial artist, but what I understand about martial artists, the ones that master that know that they can take your life with a flick of a finger.
Yes.
But because they know they don't need to, they're comfortable, confident, and they're a very highly efficacious warrior. They don't need to be that way. Their confidence in themselves, they don't have to take a life. They can be a word warrior. I think it's brilliant.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So you're a copywriter. You're a book author, coach, writer.
Yes.
What else do you do in the word warrioring field?
Well, I'm a poet.
Are you?
A poet, yes, and I love helping other people write their poems. I'm also giving workshops for young people and adults to write their own poems, and I write my own. So I think in the near future I'm going to send out a few poems in video, and I can give you the full poem I started last time if you want to.
Sure, please.
For every word I write and every word I say, based on wrong or right in the most sincere way, the challenge remains. I am amazed every day by the beauty that surrounds me in the most astonishing way. Nature of mankind, sometimes gentle, sometimes blind, nevertheless always fascinating. From living to giving to loving and leaving, from striving to surviving, from being to dying. Life's circle is not round, but for most it is profound. It is intense and part of who we are. Unfortunately, never far, because only you I adore, and in fate I explore and reconnect with the source, the basis of the force that made me who I am today. And I wouldn't change in any way, because only you are the reason I live through this season, I live through this life to the next one, as does everyone. That's one of my poems.
That's fantastic. How would we get hold of you?
I don't know. By LinkedIn is the easiest, I think.
Okay.
because my website needs some reshaping, and I'm busy to do that because it's not representative. It's just one letter that I posted, but I want it more animated and more like myself.
So where would they find you on LinkedIn?
Just my name normally, but I can give the details maybe. Just Victoria Vandersteen.
For our audience that will see this.
Oh, okay. Victoria Vandersteen or Threat Action. Threat Action is the company. So normally if you check on Threat Action.
How do you spell that?
Yes, TRAD and then action in one word.
Okay, TRAD action.
Yes, indeed. And I started off 17 years ago as a translator and an interpreter. And I'm still doing some translations, but I prefer advising people on translating some items and doing the translation by someone else.